Maria Sophia, Crystal, and Erica. Okay, good afternoon. Okay, so we will continue our lesson about theorems on differentiation. Okay, so let me present my screen first. By the way, can you still remember what we have discussed this morning? Ito galit itong mga theorems nga nag-discuss na to this morning. You can unmute your mic if you want to answer. Power rule, okay, from Raya, power rule. What else? Quotient, constant rule, okay. Sum and difference. Okay, so, kabalo pa magkuha ato, kabalo pa mag-apply atong mga rules na to ganina. Constant multiple rule, okay. Yes, ma'am. Okay, very good. Now, for this afternoon, let's have the power rule for n is less than 0. So actually, we already discussed this kaninang morning. So let's have a review lang. So this is the formula for power rule. Okay? So this is the formula for power rule. And then we already have this example, 1 over x, x squared. So, i-applyan nato siya sa power of formula and then i-transfer nato ang atong x squared sa atong numerator. So, naatay x raised to the power of negative 2. Then, we apply the formula. And then and our answer is negative 2 over x cubed. Okay. So, we have here our seat work. Now, we have to find the derivative of the following function. So, we are going to apply here the power rule for n is less than 0. So, I want you to answer this function. So, you have to get the derivative of 1 over x raised to the power of 5. Okay? Let's see kung naka-remember pa ba mo sa pag-solve sa power rule. Sige. Hi, Kiana. Okay, so Maricipia na siya answer. Okay, let's check ha. Okay. And Cristel na po answer si Cristel. Sige. Diba mauni ang formula ni power rule? Then, we are going to, since natin 1 over x raised to the power of 5 here, ato ang variable with an exponent is nasa denominator, ato siyang i-transfer sa itong numerator. So, we have now x raised to the power of negative 5. Then, mo na rin siya ng function na ito ang gamiton for our power rule. So, bring down negative 5, then subtract 1 sa ating exponent. We have negative 5x raised to the power of negative 5 minus 1. So, we have here negative 5x raised to the power of negative 6. And we transfer our variable with a negative exponent to one denominator. So, our final answer is negative 5 over x raised to the power of 6. Okay. So, how about this one? So, we have here 1 over x raised to the power of 100. Okay. What do you think is the derivative of our function here? One over x raised to the power of 100. Okay, na answer si Maria Sofia and si Kiana and also Erica. Okay, let's check. We have here the formula for power rule. Then transfer na to kahit para manash ay negative exponent. Then apply the power rule of negative 100 x raised to the power of negative 100 minus 1. So we have negative 100 all over x raised to the power of 101. Okay, so check ang inyong answer. So, kasabot na mo sa power rule. Now, let's proceed to the general power rule. For any real number n, then our derivative of our x raised to the power of n is equal to n x raised to the power of n minus 1. As you can observe, this is still the same formula. Okay? So, ang formula sa power rule, n is greater than 0, n is equal to 1, n is less than 0, or this general power rule is just the same. So, ato sila tanan, they are all pertaining to the power rule. Okay? So, mo natong gibuhat ganina. So, if we apply the general power rule or the power rule, we first do the following. For radical expressions, we have to change them to expressions with rational exponents. Okay, so if we add ito ang given, we are given with radical expressions. Kailangan natin siya i-change into rational exponents. Okay, para ma-apply na ito niya ang formulas ni power rule. And if we are given rational expressions with a denominator consisting of a single variable raised to an exponent, move up the variable to the denominator. To the numerator. So, muna itong iba sa example, di ba? 1 over x raised to the power of n. At wala siyang gi-transform, gi-change na to into x raised to the power of negative m. Then, ito na rin i-apply ang formula. So, mauna siyang isa sa kailangan ninyo i-remember when it comes to power rule. If given a square root, kailangan siya i-change into expressions with rational exponents. And then if given rational exponents na ang denominator na siya single variable with an exponent at wa siya i-move sa numerator. And remember na ngayahan yung exponent ana is negative. So we have here our example. If you can remember, we also use a derivative to find the slope of the tangent line to the curve. Now this time, we're going to find the slope of the graph of f of x, which is equal to x raised to the power of 4 when we have here a, x is equal to negative 1, if our x is equal to 0, and if our x is equal to 1. So how are we going to do this? We have to get the derivative of our function. Our function here is x raised to the power of 4. Now, what do you think is the derivative of x raised to the power of 4? We're going to apply what theorem here? Power rule. Very good. Kiana, that's power rule. Sige, try to get the derivative of x raised to the power of 4. Okay, Kiana, na siya answer si Maria Sofia po. Okay, let's check. We have here, apply the power rule. Then, bring down 4. Then, subtract 1 sa exponent. We have 4x raised to the power of 3 or 4x cubed. Karon na naman tayo derivative sa itong function. Sa gali next na ito nga buhaton ani para makuha ang slope sa itong graph. Remember, we already substitute. Okay, very good. That's substitute. Then we have to input or substitute the x value to find the slope. So, kaning derivative sa itong function man itong gamiton para mapangita na ito ang slope sa ito ang graph. We have here 4x cubed, 4 times negative 1 cubed. At tagikan sa negative 1, and first na to. Our x value here is negative 1. So, natay, pila? 4 times negative 1 cube. This is negative 4. Very good. So, at x is equal to negative 1, ang iyahang slope is negative 4. How about 4 times 0 cube? Understandable, ang answer ani is 0. Very good. So, at x is equal to 0, iyahang slope is 0. And then lastly, we have 4 times 1 cube. And our slope here is 4. Okay, so nakuha na to nga at x is equal to 1, ang atuadang slope is 4. Okay, so ig-ani ang process sa pagkuha sa slope of the graph of f of x, which is equal to x raised to the power of 4. Okay, so ig-ani ang process if ever na naay questions which gi-ask og slope sa ato ang graph. Okay? Now, how about if we are asked a problem like this? We have find an equation of a tangent line f of x which is equal to x squared when x is equal to negative 2. Now, how are we going to solve this? We have to first evaluate the function at x is equal to negative 2. How are we going to evaluate our function at x is equal to negative 2? What do you think? Substitute. Okay, from Kiana, substitute. And from Maria Sophia, see, we have our x squared. Very good. I-substitute, input na ang x is equal to negative 2 na there is itong function. We have f of negative 2 is equal to negative 2 squared or 4. This time, naanatay 4. And remember, we are given with an x value and that's negative 2. Therefore, naanatay point or coordinates na negative 2 and 4. Okay, so naanatay points. Diba kailangan nato ni siya as we look or find the equation sa tuang tangent line. So, reserve na ni for later. The next na tuang buhaton, next na tuang buhaton ani. After nga nakakuha na to sa points, another points. Unsay kulang sa pagpangita sa itong equation? What else? Very good. Ang slope. Okay, so in getting the slope, of course, we're going to get the derivative of our function. Now, what is the derivative of x squared? So, di bang i-apply na to there is ang power rule. 2x. Very good, Kiana and Crystal. So, naatay 2x. So, ang derivative ni x squared is equal to 2x. Nga nang nag-cry-cry naman ang emoji ni Crystal. Okay, so we have the derivative of our function 2x. Now, unsa na next nato nga buhaton ani para makuha nato ang slope? We are going to, of course, we have to input the x value to find the slope. So we have 2x, 2 times negative 2, we have negative 4. So ang matuang slope is negative 4. Okay, so remember our points, our coordinates is negative 2 and 4, and our slope is negative 4. Now, what's next? Unsa ang next na nga buhaton para makuha nato ang equation sa itong tangent line? We already have our points, equation na yan, ma'am. Okay, so unsa galit itong formula, ang gapi point slope formula mo, okay? See? Very good, that's point slope formula. Okay, so muna siya atong gamiton for finding the equation. And kailangan lang nato siya ipang input ang values nato. Ganina na atay, ato ang y value kanina is 4. So, we put 4 here. Then, ato ang slope is negative 4. So, natin negative 4. Then, our x sub 1 is negative 2. So, mahitabo na atay, y minus 4 equals negative 4, x plus 2. Okay, so sa ato ang final equation out from this equation. What do you think? Okay, let's see. Nana answer si Kiana. How about the others? Do you see? Do you have the same answers with Kiana? Same number. Okay, let's see. We have negative 4x minus 8 plus 4, and we have negative 4x minus 4. Very good. So our equation for to a tangent line is y is equal to negative 4x minus 4. Okay. Now, we are done with the theorems on differentiation. Now, this time, we are going to tackle about the derivatives of the trigonometric functions. Okay? So, we have here the trigonometric functions. And remember, diba, you have to recall the trigonometric identities. You already discussed this when, I don't know what grade, pero na-discuss na yung trigonometric identities, di ba? OMG trauma. Medyo lisod gidi siya diri dapit nga topic. So you have to remember, screenshot ninyo, retake note ninyo ang kaning trigonometric identities. Anyways, naman na sa inyong module. So we are going to use this. This is very important. Then, the limit theorems of trigonometric functions. Okay, this was discussed by Ma'am Jor Bilin last discussion niya. You should remember this too. Okay, needed ya po nato ni siya. Yeah. What's the first theorem ni trigonometric function? The theorem. We have the derivative of sine x is equal to cosine x. Okay? Remember that. Ang derivative daw ni sine x is cosine x. Next. Ang derivative na po ni cosine x is negative sine x. Okay? So, mura na sila gibali-bali, no? Gibaylo-baylo lang sila. Si sine x, ihang derivative si cosine x. Si cosine x, ihang derivative is si negative sine x. Okay, so you have to remember this because this is very important. Pag mangita na tayo, mangita ka sa derivative sa mga trigonometric functions. Okay? Next theorem we have the derivative of tangent x is equal to the secant squared x. Okay, so mauni siya si secant squared x. Okay? Ang derivative ni tangent x. While the derivative of cotangent x is equal to negative cosecant squared x. Okay, so mauni siya ang derivative ni cotangent x. You have to remember this. Actually, medyo libog. Di ba? Daga na kayo memorize na formula. So, medyo libog agad siya. So, at the end of this slides na ay mga tables dito, which is summary na siya dito. So, dito mo mag-base pag mag-study mo. Hindi mo malibog. Then, the derivative of secant x is equal to secant x tangent x. Okay, so muna siya ang derivative of secant x. Duha na ka trigonometric functions. You have secant x tangent x. And the theorem 2.3.15, ang derivative ni cosecant x is negative cosecant x cotangent x. Okay, so duha gyapon ka buok iyahang function. And lastly, we have the derivative of e raised to the power of x is equal to e raised to the power of x. So, ang derivative ni e raised to the power of x is itself. Okay, so kani medyo sayo ni siya derivative na part. Ang derivative niya is iyang kaugalingon. So, you have to take note of this or take a screenshot of this because this is very helpful and useful. So, we have here our first example. Find the derivative of the following trigonometric functions. We have number 1, y is equal to 2 sine x. Okay, so we are going to find the derivative of 2 and the derivative of sine x. So ang nahitabo is this is 2 cosine x. Now we're going to find the derivative of sine x to the I. Sorry. So we have here 2 sine x. Our derivative of y here is 2 cosine x. Okay, di ba remember kanina sa ato ang theorem, pagpagitaon ng derivative ni sine x, ang iyahang derivative is cosine x. Now how about this one? What if we have x plus cosine x? We have here x plus cosine x. Now, what do you think is the derivative of our function here? We have x plus cosine x. Okay, so we have 1 minus sine x. Okay, 1 minus sine x. We are, this is ano diba, sum. Katong sa sum ganina, sum rule, paon ang derivative ni first term, paon ang derivative ni second term. So, natay 1, and then, ang derivative di ba ni cosine x is negative sine x. So, this is negative sine x. We have 1 minus sine x. Yes, yes. Okay. Medyo naglibog naman, no? Naglibog nag-start. Sige lang. Di ba may makataog lisod nga mga questions? Don't worry. So, pangitaw na po natin ang derivative ni sine x over 2. Okay, let's see here. We have 1/2 sine x. Okay, we have 1/2 sine x. Ako hindi pagawa sa sine x dito ang dere. So, automatically na ay 1 dere, di ba? Ang coefficient ni sine x na ay 1/2 over sine x. Now, ang derivative, now what is the derivative of sine x? Actually, this is one term lang. Muna, hindi na natin kailangan kuhaon ng derivative ni 1/2. So, i-copy lang natin siya. Same day. Then we have here sine x. So, what is the derivative of sine x? We have cosine x. Then, atong ibuhat, i-multiply lang natin si cosine x na itong 1 para naana siya sa itong numeric form. Okay, kung gani, medyo bubot lang tao na itong final answer. So, kailangan natin limuong igani. So, natin cosine x all over 2. So, now, how about this one? We have y is equal to x minus tangent x. Okay? So, what do you think is the derivative of our function here? Ang i-apply natin diri is ang difference rule. Okay, kamu daw be? What is the derivative of x minus tangent x? Okay, Kiana na siya answer. Si Cristel, si Maria Sophia. Okay, very good. See, we have here 1 minus second squared x. Okay, very good. Diba? Medyo sa yun, pag-igami lang ng panghatag. Pero pag sa ating mga igani-igani and tagas na kayong function, isod na siya, lubog na. Okay. So, natay seat work diri. We have x second x. So, you have to find the derivative of x second x. Sige. What do you think is the derivative of x second x? Let's see kung pabalo-balo na ba. Okay, check mo ito ng answer ni Kiana. How about the others? Okay, so let's see. Let's check your answers we have here. Okay. So, unsa nga ay theorem. Unsa nga theorem ang atuang gigamit para makuha ang derivative ni x second x? What do you think? Sa inyong gigamit na theorem ganina? Okay? Yeah. We also use the product rule. Diba? Ma-observe ninyo, we use the product rule here. It's because this is two terms. Ang murag ang giingon ani nga function is x times second x. Di murag igana siya, igana pasabot niya. So, kailangan nato kwaon si f of x. Then, i-multiply nato sa derivative ni second x. Plus, di ba? Plus, g of x nato is second x and then the derivative of x. Okay? So, mauna siya. You have to remember the formula ni product rule. Mauna siya ang i-apply nato. We have our f of x. We have x. Then, what is the derivative of our g of x? Our g of x is second x. So, we have second x tangent x. Okay? We have second x tangent x. Plus, this is our g of x. We have second x. And then, it times nato sa derivative sa itong x, that is 1. So, naatay, ato na siya i-multiply. Si x, i-multiply ito kay second x tangent x. Then, this 1. Okay, so nga no, wala na himong x, second x, x tangent x. This is, kasi si second x o si tangent x, isa na lang niya ka function. Okay, isa na lang niya ka term. So, hindi na natin siya kailangan isa-isahon ang pag-distribute kay x. So, nahitabo na atay x, second x, tangent x, plus second x. Then, ang atuang gibuhat, factor out si second x. Diba? As you can observe, sa duha ka term, common si second x. So, ang atuang final answer is second x times 1 plus x tangent x. Okay, so mauna siya ang atuang answer. Okay, nagets na ba? Nagets or libog? Libog yun. Libog yun siya. So, kailangan daghan nga recall. Daghan nga recall sa lahi nga mga theorems nato ganina. Libog yun siya. So, kailangan din mo mag-study. Sige, we have here the number 2 na to. We have to find the derivative of t squared sine t. Okay? We have to get the derivative of t squared sine t. Sige. I want you to find the derivative of t squared sine t. Para ma-practice gid ninyo, mahasa ninyo yung solving skills when it comes to trigonometric functions. Sige, try daw ninyo, Be, answer. No worries, is wala may maling answer. At least, di ba, nag-try mo solve. Na-lost na daw si Erica. Ahamang kadapit naglibog. Katong libugon og samot. Naghilak na si Maria Sophia. So, answer si Kiana. T squared cos t plus 2t. Libog. Sige lang. Dapat is ma-memorize dito ninyo or ma-remember dito ninyong formula. Nasa na akong mental health, ma'am. Sige, try nato ng solve. Hi, check na to. Okay? So, ang ako ang gigamit ani is, again, ang product rules. Product rules. So, ang itong gigamit dito is ang product rules. So, kani siya is t squared times sine t. Okay, so dili ni siya isa ka term. Unlike ganina. So this is natay multiplication ng pagitan ani. So magamit og product rule. Okay? So this is our f of x, and then this is our g of x. So our f of x here is t squared. Then we have to find the derivative of g of x. We have sine t plus, this is a g of x na to, we have sine t times the derivative sa tong f of x, t squared. Okay. So first na buhaton, kuhaon sa nato ang derivative ni sine t. Okay? O ang derivative ni t squared. Naunsa man ang derivative ni sine t. Very good. That's cosine t. How about t squared? What is the derivative of t squared? And 2t. Okay, very good. Follow ba ang ban? Okay, so ang gibuhat dire ang derivative ni sine, di ba? Let's go back sa katong theorem ganina. Iyahang derivative is cosine. That's why cosine t ang derivative dire. And then t squared, nag-apply to og power rule. Okay? You-bring down si 2, nag-subtract og 1. So we have 2t. So we have here t squared times cosine t plus sine t times 2t. Okay? Kaya ito yung final answer dire is ipang-multiply nato ni sila. Multiply nato na anatay t squared cosine t plus 2t sine t. So, mauna ni siya ang atuang final answer. Okay, o, nakatama si Kiana. Now, what if igani ang atuang example? We have here, find the derivative of f of x, which is equal to e raised to the power of x, tangent x, plus cosine x. Unsay buhaton ka na to dire. Sige, try daw mo be. Try to solve and find the derivative of e raised to the power of x, tangent x, plus cosine x. Remember the theorems. Katong theorems ganina, i-remember to ninyo. Kato yung panggamita. Then, i-apply po ninyo itong theorems na discuss na to ninyong bugay this morning. Okay ba? Let's see. Try lang ninyo, okay? Para mas ma-practice din ninyo kayo. Mas better na naamoy notes. Hindi lang mag-depend sa module. Okay, so Kiana, na siya'y answer. Si Maria Sofia po. Hindi lagi na mali. How about Erica, Kirstel, Raya? Do you have the answers? Be, i-check na to, be, kung check bang answer niya, no? I-check na to kung sakto ilang process. Okay, so let f of x is just equal to e raised to the power of x tangent x plus cosine x. Now, we'll look at e raised to the power of x times tangent x as a product. And then we apply the product rule and sum rule. Okay? So, ang nahitabo diri duha ka rule ang atuang or theorem ang atuang na-apply aside sa trigonometric theorems. So, ang na-apply nato diri kay e raised to the power of x and tangent x is the product rule. Okay? Kaya gi-times natin na pagdating ng multiplication diri sa ilaha. Okay? And after nato ma-perform ang product rule diri, plus na to siya kay cosine x diri na pumusulod si sum rule. So, atuang buhaton, we have e raised to the power of x times the derivative of tangent x plus tangent x times the derivative of e raised to the power of x. Anong igani? Kaya nagamit man to og power rule. And this is our f of x. Si e, di ba? Mo ni si f of x, mo si tangent of x. Okay? This is our f of x and this is our g of x. Okay? So f of x times the derivative of our g of x plus g of x times the derivative of our f of x. So, unahon na to ni. Unahon na to ni nasa bracket na to. Sagdaan lang sa nato ni si cosine x. Yung derivative naman ni to. Okay. So, unsa ang derivative ni tangent x? Ano, napakita na nako. So, ang derivative ni tangent x is si second squared x. Plus tangent x, derivative ni e raised to the power of x is e raised to the power of x. Okay, diba? Ang derivative ni ani is tiyang kaugalingon. Plus, the derivative of cosine x is negative sine x. Nganong kaon na to ang derivative ani? Kaya diba? Pag sum rule, kaon ang derivative ni f, ang derivative ani diri na to, and derivative niya. So, nato negative sine x. Next thing that we will do here, okay, so, i-factor out si e raised to the power of x. Kina-common naman siya sa duha. I-multiply ni siya dire, i-multiply dire. So, na-common na sa duha. So, ato na lang siya i-factor out. So, we are then left with e raised to the power of x times second squared x plus tangent x minus sine x. So, ano yung final answer is i-distribute si ano, same lang yapon siya, no? Kapag wala lang natin i-factor out. So, natay e raised to the power of x, second squared x, okay, nakulangan ng x, plus e raised to the power of x, tangent x, minus x. Okay, let me edit it. So, mauna ni siya ato ang final answer. Okay? Do you have any questions? So, kailangan lang din i-remember ha ang katong theorem sa trigonometric function. Okay? Kung sa derivative ani, kung sa derivative ani, like sa derivative of sine, and cosine, it is very important na kabalo mo ana. Para di mo maglibo. So, naana dayan ato ang summary dire. Okay? Diba? This is our first rule. We have constant rule. This is our constant rule. If ang derivative daw sa ato ang constant function is 0, it is always 0. If ever nabutangan nato ning k na to diri og 1 million, ang derivative ni 1 million is still 0. Okay? Now, atong power rule. Mao ni siya ang formula ni power rule. Always remember this. Bisan pag ato ang x is less than 0, greater than 0, or equal to 0, equal to 1 rather, so mo na siya ang gamito nato nga formula when it comes to power rule. The next is the constant multiple rule. Okay? So mo ni ang formula ni constant multiple rule. This is our constant function times the derivative of our f of x. Okay? So always remember this. Then we have our sum rule. Okay, paon nato ang derivative ni f of x plus the derivative of g of x. Difference rule. Okay? Ang operation na ang nag-matter sa ila. Dire is ngayon mo siyang subtraction or minus. Okay. Dito sa product rule, naatay mnemonics pa ani. Okay, para mas dali ninyo siya nga ma-remember. We have left the right plus right the left. Or LDR plus RDL. Okay? So, kanitong left na to, kaning red, this is our f of x. And kaning blue, or kaning the right, is our g of x. So, if para mas dali ninyo ma-remember ang formula ni product rule, ang inyong buhaton is timanan ninyo yung mnemonic. Natay left the right plus right the left. So what does it mean? Left times the right. D means the derivative of right plus right times the left. Okay? Left the right plus right the left. Diba? Mas dali siya iyaw-yaw. Left the right plus right the left. Kaysa aning f of x times derivative of g of x, bugay kayo. And mas libog. Mas prone po nga mamali na hinuon mo. Diba? Kay mo man itong left, mo man itong right. So, mo lang na inyong i-remember. Sa quotient rule po, napod tay technique para mas dali po na to mahinumduman ang iyahang formula. We have d high low minus high d low all over low squared. Low squared. High, this is our f of x. Low, this is our g of x. Okay? We have d high low minus high d low over low squared. Okay, so we have d high low minus high d low over low squared. Always remember when it comes to quotient rule, lang ato ang yung operation is subtraction. And then if product rule, lang ato ang operation is addition. Okay, so mauni siya ang ato ang basic differentiation rules. So for algebraic and exponential functions. Also, ma-apply man gyapon nato ni sa trigonometric functions. Kahit ang derivatives ni trigonometric functions. Have here sin x is equal to cosine x. Tangent x is equal to secant squared x. Secant x is equal to secant x tangent x. However, in this side, we have cosine x is equal to negative sine x. Cotangent x is equal to negative cosecant squared x. And cosecant x is equal to negative cosecant x cotangent x. So what can you observe? Ma-observe ninyo, di ba? Sa ato ang table, diri siya ng corner, puro sila positive. Okay? So if, para mas dali ninyo ma-remember ang derivatives o the trigonometric function, maghimo mo og table. Okay? So igani inyo ang imuon nga table. Para dili mo maglibog. And then diri na side, diri nga corner, as you can observe, puros pod negative ang iyahang derivative. Diba? Puros negative. Meaning, as you can observe, ang derivative daw sa mga trigonometric function nga nag-start sa c, kay negative. Diba? I-observe ninyo si cosine x, negative sine x. Si cotangent x, ay si cotangent x is iya kay negative cosecant squared x. Tapos si cosecant x, iya kay negative cosecant x, cotangent x. Okay, so puro sila negative diri nga side. However, diri puro sila positive. Actually, partner gyapon ni siya. Si sine x partner kay cosine x. Si tangent x dire, di ba ang derivative ni tangent x na adya po squared. Dire kay cotangent x na pud siya squared. Okay, na squared gyapon. So, however, dire kay secant x, okay, cosecant x ang ilaha duha ka buok ilahang trigonometric function. Ma-observe ninyo duha ka buok. Apilon na ang ilahang derivative is kirbinti apil ilahang kaugalingon. Secant x, apil sa secant x ay derivative, yung tangent x. Diri is cosecant x, apil gyapon. But, negative lang siya. Cotangent x. Okay, so mauna siya, simpler way para ma-remember ninyo ang theorems with atong derivative sa trigonometric function. Okay? So, para mas maka-remember mo, kailangan ninyo siya ibutang sa table. Okay. So, that is the end of our lesson about derivatives, basic rules or the theorems on differentiation ni derivatives. So, medyo sayo-sayo gitan ako man. Do you want another na example? Masa pa mo another example? Hopefully, mag-study mo sa inyong module is because upcoming na inyong exam. Pwede break sa ma'am. Okay, pwede ito mag-break ta? Sige, sige. I will give you, feel na kung buto na akong brain, ma'am. Sige, sige. I will give you 10 minutes break. 10 minutes or 15? Sige, mag-break sa ta. Then, pagbalik, maghatag taog another example. Para, mas ano yun, mas ma-practice pa yun nyo kay medyo lisod-lisod, marabay nga topic. Okay? Sige, sige. Balik ta, 1, did I 1? Sige. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 10 minutes break. Sige, relax mo, Riha, relax. Pag-Facebook sa mo.
Ilang break?
Nakakoy na itong kuan. So, para makapabukal ko. Naakot na yung rice cooker. Ako na yung bread ang tahantin. Kadyo ito na ito gamitin po. Imbas ko na lang ito kung laptop na wala ni gamit. Oh, nag-order? Sakto na rin, nagkadagdag ng tubig. Pero ang mga pinapit na lang ito, Magkakit yung consistent nito na boss. Gusto mo naman. Kung sa akin mo na ba ito? Kung stress isa, wala ko ulit ang mga Sino ka buo? Bato ka yung day? Upat? Tulo? Tulo na daw.